All right, here we go. Man, wake up, my man. All right,
Yeah, yeah, I'm good.
we did a late night went on y'all. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Decided to hit y'all with a late night. Thank y'all for tapping in. Streetball the Pro. It's Ambassador Ballaholic. I got him up. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, let me hit Austin because those who are following Austin and his journey, y'all know how we linked up. Was it the summertime?
It was summer 2023. Yeah. Yeah,
So
right.
we linked up then, and it was the whole idea of what I do, help guys like himself, pros get jobs or those who are seeking to go, but they gotta be pros. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
ain't no one of those, YMCA, no knock on. I'm not like that. I'm not, you know what I mean? He's not one of those players, but he's a pro player that I help. And so one of his things was to be in the TBL. And so that was one of our journeys, went to Mexico together. That's how all of us end
Yep.
up moving and meet,
Mhm.
in Mexico. And then boom, from Mexico, he had the opportunity to try out for the Jags, a new TBL team. And we were just talking about this last night with Cam, who was a TBL player. So once again, what did you say, Ball? If you play in the TBL,
In TBL, you are a hooper. There's nothing but hoopers in the TBL. I don't care what
Yes,
team
sir.
you're
Yep.
on. It's not
At any given moment, you can get burned. Like
right.
to put it like
Yeah.
that.
It's not
So
the it's not the ABA. Everybody think, oh yeah, I'm playing the ABA. I can play in the TBL. No, you cannot, because it ain't no 3D in the TBL.
right,
You know what I mean? Like it's different. You can't score 10 points in 10 seconds in the TBL.
right. It's real hooping. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that's what we wanted to talk about. So man, not only that, but the fact that the Bangkok Coyotes, the Tiba League, right? Make sure
yep.
I'm saying it right. Tiba
Yeah.
League. Ballaholic and myself, we had got wind of it and was like, okay, we was gonna get a team, and then we was fortunate enough to team up with our guy PG Jarrett. You know what I mean? With the Court Kings, who has a team, and so we decided to just work together. That's we all eat, we all work. You know what I mean? So we came together and the Bangkok Coyotes. So shout out to them. We're helping on the back end, and so in that, what happened? There's a pro player that already played in Thailand, and we was fortunate enough to be blessed with the opportunity to work with him, and he was willing to sign. You know what I mean? You got to think TBL player, pro player already, and he already have a name in Thailand. So we want to talk about all of that because that's major. You know what I mean? When we start talking about it, I'm sure there was a lot of doubters or didn't even understand what was happening. You know what I mean? But we were saying that hey, we're going to help players become pros. You know what I mean? They're already pros, but just really understanding the game. Like yesterday, Cam was a year waiting for a year just to get a contract. You know what I mean? So, and I'm sure you could tell us some stories too, like the waiting game. You know what I mean? Just
Yep.
once you get that first contract, it doesn't guarantee you like, okay, man, my contract is like the NBA or something like where it's all these years. It's one of
Yep.
those. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So talk to us, man. Tell us about your journey with the Jags, the TBL, because you've been waiting on that. And so now it's here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, before we get into that, I actually want to give you a shout out because when we first started all this, it was like, you know, you want to put players onto pro teams, right? So the thing I said to you was imagine if you were able to put a short Asian kid onto a pro basketball team
I never.
as any other basketball player seeing you as an Asian, what would they be thinking? Like, yo, if this guy can get this little motherfucker on the team, like, I'm sure he could get me on the team, right? So since that conversation, we've knocked off essentially all the goals that you and I had set out, which is, I told you from the beginning, I want to play in the TBL.
Yeah.
Then we got into the position to try out for the TBL. And from then on, of course, it's just up to me to do my job, right? I did my job. I went through the grueling process of doing the training camp itself, which was a whole crazy experience in itself. And
Right.
then I made the team through the training camp. So I did the whole official thing. It wasn't like, oh, like pick
Yeah.
and choose, put them in. It's like, no, I went through the whole process. I tried out, I did training camp, and I had to slug it out just like anybody else did. Right. And then I made the last few spots. Like we had about like 50 dudes in the gym,
Oh,
and
wow.
it came down to like the last 12. All right. So I was able to do that. And again, it goes back to what you and I had planned. And essentially, we did what we said we would do.
Yeah.
Right. It was a successful program. So that's why I asked, like, I'm giving you the shout out. We did it. Like, we did that. Like, no one can ever take that away from us.
I
You know
really
what I'm saying?
that, that's love, because that is true.
Yeah.
Shout out to you for just trusting. And I mean, you had reached out to me years ago when I was on that, the whole Admirals, we were just going everywhere, and
Yeah.
so it's like some many pieces, everything going on. And I remember we had spoke, but not knowing when we end up meeting, like, oh, going back in messages, and you remind me, I'm like, I do remember this. And
Yeah.
then being able to actually meet you in person, and you came from Canada. So we're talking about, once again, sacrificing and commitment. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? About trying to be a pro. Everybody,
Mhm.
it's easy. It's
Yeah.
not easy.
It's not. It's
You know,
definitely not.
and so that's the thing. He's coming from Canada, believing in a system that he watched and he wanted to be a part of. And
Yeah.
by the grace of God, we hooked up. He gave me some goals, and I'm like, all right, well, this is the ideas. We're gonna go from here, from doing these tournaments here. From there, we're gonna go down to Mexico. Boom, we linked up with you in Mexico, and it's crazy because when we talk about our stories, like his story, low key, is different than your story. You know what I mean? And we was at the same place, right?
Yep.
And
Mhm.
that's the craziest part, because I'm like, our story, I mean, where we stayed at was nice and all these things. You know what I mean? It wasn't bad. Like, be awesome. We had a whole little stay. And that was a part of my thing where I was trying to tell teams to say, okay, this is what we're in charge of. Or when you were an admiral, we want to put you in the best. We want to at least try to put you in a position where you're successful, put it that way, right? And
Mhm.
so from there, boom, we just stayed locked in. And when he told me, when the TBL came through, and shout out to, like, say, the Jags, and for giving us the opportunity to even work together, and looking at his footage and trusting my abilities to scout and work with players. And I knew what kind of heart he had. So it worked out, and here we are, full circle. And, you're in the TBL.
Yep, we made it happen. We made it happen, man. Like, just having that vision, and then executing the plan, and then just like seeing it all unfold. So
Yeah.
Patience, patience is a virtue, man. Especially when it comes to basketball, patience is definitely a virtue.
yeah, like, no, 100%. Because like we set out that goal like after the big chipper, which happened in August 2023, and after that we were already talking about like next season's TBL,
Yeah.
which is March 2024. So like all that time
Yeah.
that transpired was we were locked in, following the plan, talking to the right people,
Yep.
making the right connections, and then of course on my end just staying in shape as an athlete, and then making sure that when I get to, it's one thing to get the foot in the door, and then the next thing is to like really execute and do your shit, right? So
Right.
with the grace of God, both things happened, and we got what we wanted, right? So, and I think that's just huge. Like I think moving forward, like that's something that I wanted to deliver on my end for you,
Yeah.
so that, like I said, now you go around and like recruiting different players and saying like, look, like we got this small Asian kid playing the TBL. It's just like I haven't seen another one like me in the TBL. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Right.
that goes onto your agent resume now, right? And I know like a lot of players in the past, and you probably deal with this all the time, is people just come in and they just take. But from the jump, I've always been direct with you about like, I want both of us to get something out. It's not just, oh, you put me on TBL, goodbye, Ashley. You know what I mean? It's just like, all right, you put me on TBL, you did all this good stuff for me.
Yep.
What can I do to give back? Oh, you're doing this table league thing.
Yeah.
all right, of course, I'm gonna come help you. You know what I mean? Like, so
Yes.
just always making sure we're all coming up. And then also, like, like if anyone asks me about Ashley and being an agent and executing the plan, I'll be like, yeah, man, like, look, I asked him, this is what I wanted, and then this is what he gave me. Right.
Yes.
So just making sure that, it's not just, oh, all these good things happening for me, but me making sure that, hey, like, yo, Ashley, that's my guy. This is
Yeah.
how it happened. You know what I mean? And just so not being that player to just take and leave, like
Right.
staying with the system and
Yes.
giving back and letting
Yeah.
everybody eat.
Yeah.
So
And that's so crazy, Austin, because I sound exactly the same as you, bro.
yeah,
Like when I first met him, and then the vision that he had, I was like, damn, I got the same vision he got. And he let me know what he would do for me to bring me out of that dark space I was in. And I was in a
Yeah.
dark space, man. I ain't gonna lie. Even playing, having fun in Mexico, playing basketball, I still was in a dark space. And then he brought me out, man. And then it's everything you just said. I'm like, damn, bro. Like Coach said, we got different stories. I got different words, but it's the same feeling. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like he put me in this position and with everything, just with basketball alone, but just with life too, though. You know what I'm saying? And then, me being part of everything that he has going on, even some personal stuff. When he got married, like that meant a lot to me, for me to be there with him. You know what I'm saying? Like that meant a hell of a lot, even way more than basketball.
Yeah.
So like by a large margin, you feel me? So
yeah.
it's the same feeling, man. So it's crazy. Like damn, like Austin, it's crazy, man, because everyone that we've been on here with has talked about Coach Ashley, put them in the position that they're in. So for you, for basketball professionally, for Cam, for basketball, for me, for the street ball scene, it brought me back. You know what I'm saying? It put us in that position. We all patiently waited, and it brought us back up to unexpected things because we waited, because we worked hard, because we around the right people, because the right person put us in the right position. You feel me?
Yeah.
So it's just like it's like a big ass puzzle, man. Like it just all the pieces is put together. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna search for them pieces. We don't know which ones because there's a lot of them. We're gonna like, yo, that ain't it. But it looked like it's it, but it ain't. But let's wait and keep going. Oh, there you go, right there. Fit, yes. You feel me?
Yeah.
That's how it is, man. And it's so crazy, bro. It's all like it's like psychology or like it's just something that go together. You feel me? It's just something that go to. You gotta like playing Tetris. Coach playing Tetris. You feel me? Like let me find. Okay, I gotta put him in. He go here. You know what? I got Austin. He played in Thailand. We going. Oh, that's perfect. You got a name out there. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? You think about the business side. We talk about that, and that's the biggest part because you start to tell the difference between real pros, and that's one of the things too, right? We talking about. You got to understand the business and the marketing side. So, and talking with Austin, like I said, and working with Austin, I'm like, I love his game, and I look at what he's up against. You know what I mean? Like you said, if we can make this happen, well, he's really nice like that. You know what I mean? And so it's one of those. Okay, man, I'm gonna roll the dice with him. You know what I mean? Because they're gonna say, come on. They're gonna look at him. Oh, he's small. And I say, yep. And watch what he's gonna do. You know what I mean?
And it's crazy. And you know what's crazy too? I seen you play. I seen you play in Mexico, and I ain't gonna lie. Just thinking about it, just like with the snap of my finger, he played like KB.
Yes. Yeah.
He played like KB. Because in Japan, KB was running. Like I'm thinking, like you kind of play like you similar to KB. How KB play.
Yes.
So yeah, man, that's it. That's crazy. Like that's crazy noticeable. I just noticed. Like I seen you play just a couple of times, and I played with KB. So it's like, yeah, y'all kind of got the same 1-2 a little bit. You may be a better shooter though, for sure. Because I see you shoot. Yeah, you can shoot the ball way better than KB. You can shoot. So.
Man, so tell us about your journey, the Jags. I know this is their first year, right?
Yeah.
And so, and it's the TBL. So I want to know about like the competition and just the atmosphere. Is it what you hoped for in the sense of like the TBL? You always wanted to play, and now you're there. So let's talk about that,
man. In terms of like what I expected and what I wanted, it's like I would say yes and no to that. And like, it's like, I wanted to play pro in America because that's where the best competition is at. You
Yeah.
know, my thing was I didn't want to just simply run back to Asia where I'm from. Like I wasn't born in Asia, but you know, like a lot of times it's like hoopers will go to where their passport is and then they get to make a living off of that.
Right.
But for me as like a purist, as a hooper, I wanted to know that I could get onto an American team because of my ability. Right. So that was my big thing. Like, yeah, I could always go back to Thailand. Thailand's always calling me. You know, stuff like that. But just no, just expect, like, I mean, like, just seeing myself be in this position, it's just like, okay, now, like Ballaholic said at the beginning, like, T-Bell is hoopers. I'm part of that now, you know what I mean? In any capacity, whether I'm coming off the bench, whether I'm in the game, like, it's like I made it through that filtering process, you know, trials, training camp. I did that, right? So that, to me, that was what I wanted for myself. And in terms of what I expected, like, yes, I expected crazy competition. You got guys who are coming back from the G League and guys who end up going to the G League, and some guys even go to the NBA from what I hear, right? So it's like being able to be a part of that is just like, yes, on any given night, you sometimes you might try to pick out that one check where you think he ain't gonna do anything just so you could get a breather on defense. But it's just like any given moment, this guy could put the burners on too, and next thing you know, he's at the rim. You know what I mean? So it's like everybody has a skill set, and you have to be like kind of locked in at all times, or you know, you're gonna open Instagram, and next thing you know, you see yourself get dunked on, right? But and it's just the things that I didn't see coming was just certain little organizational stuff. But with my situation specifically, like, we are a first year team, so like, you know, I mentioned to them, I'm like, yo, like, it's cool for me, like, I'm like a laid back dude, so I'm gonna give you guys the grace and let's just work it out together, you know what I mean? We're in open communication. I'll give my input here and there, like, this is how it should be, this is how it shouldn't be, you know, let's see how you guys operate out of that. And so that part was a bit, it wasn't like a surprise to me, but it was like I didn't expect it either. You know what I'm saying? So that would be where I'm like, kind of like, okay, that's not where my expectation was. But everything else that I came for was as I wanted and expected, like high level competition, like just dogs everywhere, and being able to be a part of that and say, like, yo, I was here. You know, I have film on myself here, I have pictures, like, you know, at the end of the day, I think I can say everything. I did everything I wanted to do as a basketball player in all the places I wanted to go to. Like, I went to play in Spain, played in Mexico, played in America. I've, like, one of the chips on my shoulder was one of my college teammates once upon a time said to me, he's just like, Austin's too small to ever play in America, right? So he said that to me in like 2017, and it still rings in my mind when he said that. I'm like, look at me now, look at me now.
Right.
So yeah. So,
but that's good though. That still rings in your mind. That's in your long-term memory. You want to keep that in your mind. Shit, that's now it's natural. That's your muscle memory. Like, yo, like, it's time to go. And that might ding. You're too small to play, bro. And then here you go. You know what I'm saying? Here you go. Like, hold on. But now you catch yourself talking to yourself. Well, fuck you. But you talking to yourself. Excuse my language, but you know what I'm saying? Because I do that sometimes. Like, you ain't too old. Shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? I do that. So I mean, but that anything like that always helps, man. And the fact that you are you know, you're not even. And I hate saying undersized guard. You're just a guard that's just under 6 feet.
Yeah.
And people go, and that's drawing more attention to you. Like you said, you out here for a reason. Let's watch this guard that's the shortest on the court out here for a reason in this league. Hold on, let me see. Let's just see real quick. And that, I'm telling you, they're thinking that because everybody is tall nowadays. 6'4", 6'5" is point guards, 6'7" point guards. You got 6'10" shooting guards. You know what I'm saying? 7 foot of shooting threes and shit. So 5'9", 5'8". Let's hold on. He's got to be quick. He's got to be his something. Hold on. We need a shooter point guard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the plus and advantage that you have, Austin, for sure, bro. You understand that because you've been playing everywhere. You know what I mean? So stay active, man. Bro. Stay a dog.
The first impression for me specifically is always just like, what the hell is this guy doing here? I mean, it's just like, okay, attack that mismatch.
Yeah.
Or even as my teammates, it's just like, okay, like who are these guys recruiting? I mean, I'm sure even with Ashley, when I was playing for you, some of the guys are like, Ashley, who are you bringing? Like, you know what I mean? Like every team that I ever played on was like, look at coach and be like, who are you recruiting? And then it's after the first few practices, oh, okay, yeah, it makes sense now. It's falling into place. Like, you know what I mean? So I always had to break that ice first. Like, even with like with the Jags, is like we'll be like lifting weights and shit, and you know, just looking at me, they're like, okay, this motherfucker's not gonna lift anything, and then suddenly I'm lifting all these weights, I'm jumping all these boxes, and then people are like, oh, okay, like it goes from
Where you play that? Yeah, where you play that, bro?
yeah. So I just have the what I call it's like just an unassuming look. Like you see me, you're probably like, this guy probably like he's an accountant or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the thing is, I'm cool with that. I'm like, you know, I grew up in this age where like we made those jokes when we were kids. You know what I mean? So it's just like I'm like self-aware as to what I look like. So when people give that impression like, oh, this guy, you don't hoop, right? I'm like, okay, that's cool. Let's just roll the tape a little bit longer, and then okay, now it's just like you said, where'd you play at? Oh, like, can you get me on? This and that. I'm like, well, I don't know anymore.
Hey, for real, because that's the first thing they're gonna look at you, and then as soon as you do something, they go, hold on, man. They don't know what else to say, but where did you play at? That's the only thing they're gonna be like, hey man, what's your name? They ain't gonna say, because they gonna know your name. You know what I mean? But that's the first thing. Where you played at, dog? Hey, you played over there? Oh, I could have sworn I seen you. I thought you played for them. That's why I always laugh when somebody like, that's how they break the ice, or they just looking at you like, oh, and then when you do something good, where you played at? I always laugh with somebody.
Yeah.
Oh, sheesh.
So
Thailand. So when were the last? Okay, so tell us about your Thailand experience. I know we're talking about signed you with the Bangkok Coyotes. So what is your experience there?
Man, it's a hell of an experience, especially being it. So the team that I was with, we were. I mean, just that whole league, the TBL of Thailand, most of it was based in Bangkok. So like, just that lifestyle is, you know, it's awesome. Like, you know, you get to like the city is amazing. People are extremely friendly. So I love that about Thailand. Like one of my favorite countries to go to in all of the places I've traveled to. And basketball. So, and speaking on the basketball part, it's like most people will like with Asian countries, a lot of times is people will focus on the import because that's where the talent is. And then the locals are, you know, just passport holders and stuff like that. But one thing about Thailand, I'll say, is their locals are nice. Like you have guys who are giving imports work, like from the guard position, from the center position. So it's a lot of talent in Thailand, but they, of course, it gets slept on because it's just Southeast Asia. I mean, even just in general, like one of the best leagues in the world is in China. But oftentimes when we're on the Western Hemisphere, we always make the joke, oh, you're about to go play in China, as if like that's a bad thing. But it's just like what that entails is multi-millions of dollars and playing against some top-notch competition. So it's like if you're sleeping on that, I'm sure you're gonna sleep on like Southeast Asia. You know what I mean? But when you actually get out that way, you're like, damn, this motherfucker, it's like he can get down, like he's posting up, he's doing these moves, he can cross me over at the line. So it's like there are some real crazy hoopers out there that are just Thai locals, you know. So the basketball is at a really good level. I mean, they're constantly winning. There's this thing called the Southeast Asian Games, constantly winning the silver medal. Like they're always right behind the Philippines, and Philippines is, you know, another powerhouse in Southeast Asia. So yeah, the basketball is really, the culture is really good. It's like, and the basketball is really good. And the funniest thing is, like, as a Westerner going there, like for us, if we get dunked on or dunk on someone, it's like, I'm up in your face, you know. For them, it's like, it's the funniest culture shock, because I've seen like this dude dunk on someone and be like, hey, nice try, and like genuinely mean that, you know. Like
what?
Yeah, like and then there's one so I had my import, he was getting like he was getting messed up left and right, and then he finally got a nice little move, and he got up in the guy's face and was just like, "And one, blah blah blah," right? And the guy just like politely scooted him away, and then comes back down and dunks, and was just like, just gave his nice little bow, and then just ran the other way, So it's just like seeing that as like. As a Westerner, it's just like, wow, like I I thought he was gonna turn around and be like, "Oh, you suck" or something. But
Friendly basketball. Oh
yeah,
man.
but friendly basketball, but at a high level.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, we lost that game, so it's like you would think
Damn.
yeah.
Wow.
Like, damn, ain't nobody mad. Oh, everybody's shaking hands. Shit, why
Yeah, everybody
man,
just everybody's just happy, like it's like it's a whole different thing, like as like for us when we talk about it, it's just like we're so happy for we're losing, you know what I mean, or like we're so happy for finish the job and win the game type of thing, but for them it's just like that's how they are leading up to it's like I mean, I can't say that maybe that's not everybody, but in the time that I was there, that's all I saw. Like I barely saw a time where someone got into someone else's face and was like talking some craziness, like it was always like, nice to see you again. Like, here's 30 points. Yeah, so I love Thailand for that, man. I love that.
So Bangkok, man, I never been to Thailand, and that's something that we was looking at. Ballaholic and myself talking about coming down there, checking y'all out. I probably was like, we got to figure out how to get the Admirals on there, even if it's an exhibition game against you all. But I think that it's just exciting to me because I love traveling and experience different cultures. As far as when we start talking about Asia, that's one of our biggest, I say, supporters, fan market. I mean, basketball is huge. So I started out in China and went to China for probably about 3-4 years, just tour after tour after tour, so we're playing everybody, from Russia to Spain to Korea. We're playing everybody in China. And we even played the CBA, a bunch of CBA in Division II China. And then Japan, and then God bless us with Japan. So I feel like 2 other biggest markets when you start talking about just supportive wise and opportunities. And now to get to Thailand, I think it's going to be huge too, to really tap in and to build that. So I'm excited about just checking that out. So there's a tryout happening for the Bangkoks in New York, August 10th through the 11th. So check their website, check them out. They are currently looking for other players like yourself. You signed with them, and like I said, great relationship, business, personal with the owners. Jared from New York. Shout out to them for the opportunity, and so I'm excited just to see you, and he's been watching you for a minute, and I mean, followed you all through the TBL. Trust me, those who don't know Jerry, like myself and Baller Heart, we'll tell you, that's our guy. You know what I mean? That's our guy. He's a certified hooper too.
I'll try. Oh, every time you see Richard Jerry name, I'm just gonna go.
I know where you already going, man.
Oh my gosh! Oh
man, yeah, that's gonna be the
He gonna try to go out. He gonna try to go at us in London. He gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I got some payback now. Y'all done make me lose my passport. Y'all done make me lose my passport. All right, watch this."
Oh my God!
He ain't gonna want to hang out with us afterward. Like, yo, Jared, hey Jared, you want to hang out with us? He gonna say nope.
Hey, man, I ain't never seen nothing like this. It was out from Japan. That man had lost his passport on the first day in Japan.
Oh my God!
We were
at the airport.
He said, "Oh my God, this is all bad, man." You know what I mean? because I'm the last one getting in it. I feel real bad. You know what I mean? I'm like, what didn't happen? I mean, lost my passport. So yeah, nice thing, man. So we had to go through the whole trip. My man didn't have a passport. But he got it. He got it at the end. He was like, well.
Oh my gosh. Like Coach said, we didn't even leave the airport yet. We didn't even leave the airport.
Yeah.
And I told him.
That is my biggest fear, losing my passport in a different country.
Right?
Oh my God.
Right?
Oh my God. And I told y'all, make sure you got everything. Oh no, I got everything. It's good. I got everything. Oh man.
Mike said that. We said, So, shout out to Jared. So that'll always be our joke. One of the best memories we created in Japan together the very first day before we got out of the airport. Lost his passport, right? And so the whole crew, they all laugh about it. That was a good one. But man, Thailand, New York, August 11th or 10th to 11th, they're going to be trying out. Once we get more information, of course, we're going to be promoted. You're like the poster child, right?
Yeah.
And so that's the dope part too. So you came and you conquered, you know what I mean? We connected and we set some goals. And I felt like some of the goals have exceeded what we could both had imagined. Because I didn't think of, okay, man, I knew I had relationships and you're a great player. And I believe us coming together could work. But I mean, the way things have panned out thus far, I'm like,
Honestly, at this point, it's like you gotta just chalk it up to like God's plan,
Yeah, right.
Like that's really what it feels like,
right?
Because it's hard to say we weren't blessed because it's like people often set goals and we had some pretty big goals, and easily could have just missed.
Yes.
Right. So. Like, it wasn't all smooth sailing. It wasn't like, oh, this is the team you're going to go for. Boom. It was just like we had other teams that we wanted to go for. And then those passed by and we're like, dang, what are we going to do? And we pivoted. We pivoted nicely. And then, just one thing led to another. And then we somehow righted the ship to where it needed to be. But, we can't. I wouldn't sit here and arrogantly be like, yeah, we knew that was going to happen.
Right.
Right. We did what we had to do on our part, but then there's also, like I said, that part where we stayed blessed, stayed patient, and the rest worked itself out. So yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, and like we always tell everybody who check us out, check our stories when we bring different players, coaches, whoever we bring on our guests. Is like, man, we try to put y'all in position to be successful if you want to stay, or put y'all give y'all some jewels and say, man, the grind is not easy. This journey, this road, as we say, street ball to pro, whatever pro level, if it's at street ball or professional, they're all professionals at the highest level. And to make it at the highest level, it's not easy. You know what I mean? It's not just you wake up and, no matter how much talent and things like that you got, like I said, from networking, business, it's a lot that goes into it. You as a person, you're a product. You know what I mean? And so, like I said, it's about getting the right connections. And for us, we all got different stories. And that's why I always be bringing players and different people on, because it's like how me and Austin, we met, how Ballaholic and myself, we met, and how them two have crossed paths, and now how full circle coming back around, and Austin sort of like Cam was waiting for that opportunity. Boom, he gets this opportunity. He takes advantage of it, and he, is exceeded. Because like Cam was like, man, I was waiting for about a year. I got this opportunity to go over to Chile, and I helped this team. We missed the playoffs, but we maintained that first league status, and I got all these opportunities, right? You know what I mean? And I'm just waiting for calls. Here it is. Austin's like, man, I made, the Jags, and from there, boom, we was looking for a poster child and things like this in Thailand. We don't know a whole lot about. He knows the ins and outs. He knows everything. We're like, yo. And like I said, he's already pro. So it's not like you got, oh, here's a couple of dollars here and there. So he showed up. You know what I mean? This is real. You know what I mean? It's like
right.
A real pro. So it's not like he's a beginner pro. You know what I mean? Here's a little baby contract because you're just getting started. No, he knows the game and he has a name. You know what I mean? So it just the way it all worked out. I'm humbled to be like, yo, you know, Streetball the Pro, the Admiral, we're family. We all eat, you know, just a network, and then it's bigger than basketball because it's bigger than just the business. You know, when you look at why we look out for one another and making sure that everyone eats. So we just have those kind of things out there because you don't find that a lot in our business. You know what I mean?
Not at all. Not at all. Like, I mean, I think with, like I mentioned earlier, it's just you know, if let's say we accomplished what we said we were, some players would just, all right, see you later. Yep. Oh, you want me to come play with you in Thailand? No, that wasn't my plan. See you later. You guys go figure that one out. But also with what Ballaholic said, with, you know, just that feeling that you were talking about after everything happens, I feel like giving back and helping out is just the right thing to do. You know, and for whatever reason that doesn't sit in other people's system, especially in our game. It's like doing the right thing is never it's not the first thing that comes into someone's mind. You know, it's just like, all right, I got what I came for. I'm gonna see y'all later.
And you know what? And that's because people are not selfish. They're self-absorbed. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever they need for them, for their whatever thought process, whatever the case may be, that's absorbing them for them to be okay with it. That's when they're gonna take off. And you're right. It's the right thing to do is to get back. That's letting you know that you do have a good heart. You got a heart. You know what I'm saying? And that's what comes. But a lot of people, you're right. A lot of people, they don't do that, man. A lot of people they don't. If they do it, they feel like they're pressured to do it. You know what I'm saying? Rather than them wanting to do it. And you can always tell when somebody wants to do it. You can see it. You know, so that's also a big factor, man. You know what I mean? That's why it's important to give back. It's always because we can't play when we're 50 years old, 60, but we got all this knowledge that we can teach. You know what I'm saying? When we're 50 and 60, so starting now is good, man. And it lets you know, like, just imagine, you know, way later when you're playing and when you're not playing, from playing now to later, how much knowledge you're gonna have. You feel me? And you know, when you playing, and then when you're done playing, you understand the game even more as you get older. And then when you stop playing, you really understand it. You know what I mean? You break it down to almost a T, depending on, you know, how long you had your career. You know, and that's crazy how I see the game now. And it's always important to give all that information back. Because nowadays, look at the new generation basketball players, right? We said this in the last one, Coach. That player come in with the long arm sleeve, matching his one leg on the right side. The left side, no sleeve on the leg or the arm. All of a sudden, break, no defense, ain't talking. You know, it's the look. And I'm not even talking about like the college players. These are like the young players, high school, AAU. You know what I mean? That's what's starting at, because they're seeing everything on TV, especially with the new players in the league nowadays. They're not even looking at college players. They're looking at these NBA players. You know what I mean? And they're starting to look at more of the new ones rather than like, you know, the older players. Everybody's still looking at Kyrie and LeBron, but you can look at Anthony Edwards now. You got to look at, you know, John Morant and you know, Victor, and you know what I mean. Guys are starting to. It's a different look, man, for the new generation basketball players. So giving back the right way, like you said, Austin, is key. That's key, man.
Yeah, it is. So Thailand. So what are some of the I guess I would say fun. Because this the thing, right? We always talk about this on our show, especially with other pros who really have lived it, and that's when we say pros. They have at some point of their career lived this that we're talking about. You can't just say, okay, I was over here for just a weekend or for a little bit here and there, like a little vacation. But you actually have to adjust and learn how to live in these countries. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's a different mindset. And so for those who are interested in becoming a pro, because this is what it is, becoming a pro. Oh man, I want to go to this other country because that's all they think. Oh, I want to play overseas. And
Hmm.
you get overseas and you get introduced. You may or may not have a person who can speak the language. You may have
Hmm.
an interpreter. You may not. You may
Hmm.
have access to American food or some foods you don't know what you know what I mean. You
Yep.
there's the culture, the living, the very idea, the time zone. There's so many different things that are different, right? And so
Yeah.
for those who are considering saying, okay, I'm gonna go to this trial, I'm hoping I'm gonna get this deal, and it may be a first time for some people because there are still rookies that first time going overseas and they're pros, but
Hmm.
just giving some advice or idea those that, oh man, I'm gonna come and try out and I want to go to Thailand and it's gonna be like this and that. What are your take on that? It's like, man, Thailand is not like America.
I think the best thing I'd say is, as you know, Westerners like Americans, Canadians, and stuff. When we go to other countries, we come in and we're like, we just put it out there that hey, we're Americans, you know. So we kind of, uh, I see this a lot. Is that people expect people to cater to them. But I think if you want to have a very
Mhm.
successful long-term career overseas, is come in with the attitude of like you want to learn a culture and you want to cater to them, because
Right.
this is going to translate not just off the court but on the court too, because you got to keep in mind in most teams you have one, two, maybe three imports, right? So that means you're dealing with three local players, and if those local players don't like you, they're gonna badmouth you to the coach. They're gonna say this and that. Now the fans here, you know, they talk to the fans too, right? So it's just like the fans are gonna be like, well, do I really want to support that guy who's just an asshole,
Right.
right? Based off of what these guys are telling me, or you know, like little things like that, and then like now you have this like net of negativity surrounding you that you don't even
Right.
know about, and it's just because you're coming in and rubbing people the wrong way. And obviously in our minds we're so self-absorbed, we don't think that, oh, I'm not doing anything wrong, I'm just telling you guys that this is who I am, and you know, da da da. But it's just like you have to get out of that mentality and really come and try to understand them, because if you show an effort, like hey, like for example Thailand, if you come in and you try to like at least pick up on a couple key phrases and you try to eat their food, you know, then like now your locals and the fans are like, man, this guy really, he wants to actually try, you know what I mean? And that effort, we're not going to expect you to speak fluent Thai, but it's just like the fact that you're here and you're so down to earth, that is just so much more likable. And then this could actually save you from getting cut, because you could play really bad, but they're like, well, he's a nice guy, so let's just, you know, let's keep him around. But if you play bad and you're an
Damn,
asshole, get him out of here now. We're looking for any reason for you to leave, right?
that's
So
crazy.
like,
Hey, you sound like
Yeah.
a hey. This is deja vu. Cam said the same exact thing
Yep.
about being that player and getting into the fans, and Cam said the same exact thing. That's crazy. It makes a difference over there if you're an importer. You gotta be that way. Get into the fans. Hey, how you doing? Giving high fives, picking up the kids. Cameron's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah,
if you do it, you get it with the fans. He's like, you're gonna have 6, 8 points, 4 points, and they're gonna keep you on the team because you're a nice guy. Because they love you.
and
So
they
that
love you,
yeah,
and they love you,
that's
man.
key.
Yeah, so it really is. And I think like I think that's a lot of other imports downfalls. If you see guys who have only 1 year, maybe 2 year careers, it might be because of their attitude, you know, like it's like they not like Ashley said, you are a business. So it's just like nowadays everyone loves that friendly, inviting business. Like no one really likes that, like, oh, we're so elite, don't talk to us business no more. So
Right.
you come off like that, well, they're like, all right, we won't talk to you. Go goodbye. Like, you know what I mean? You might mess
Well
around, mess
though.
with a team who like they stand on business so much where it's like, all right, you want to be an asshole? We're cutting you from the team, and we're not even going to send you back. Find your own way back.
That
You
is
know,
true.
there
Damn,
has been those situations,
It's
right?
true.
And then what are you
like
gonna do? You're
that.
just an American. Yeah, you're just gonna be an American guy in Thailand. You don't know who to talk to. You're gonna be like, yo, he's supposed to fly me back, but he didn't. And then it's just gonna fall on deaf ears, because it's just like, well, we don't even know what you're talking about. You can't even communicate with us. Like, you
Oh,
know what I'm saying? So you got
that's
guys who just
see.
get stranded. right?
See, hey, see, the guys need to know that whoever's watching this, man, y'all need to know that if you want to go over the water, do not go over the water with that cocky attitude, with that asshole attitude, man. A
Yeah.
lot of things can happen. Your ass wind up getting kidnapped or something. You better
And
stop.
then honestly, it might be the organization that kidnapped you. You know what I'm saying?
Serious though. Especially right. Especially like playing anywhere in Mexico or like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like
better be cool, man.
Yeah. So
man.
that's the thing. It's just having that humility and just try like not and be authentic about it too, right? But just being a decent human being, I think that's the thing that really goes along.
Right.
I can see that. I mean, because even like when I look at in my position as a coach and as an owner, that's one of the in my relationships. You know what I mean? Is inviting, warming, loving, integrity. It's certain things that you want to possess and you build off of, and so I feel like that's one of the things that has helped me along the way because from like say if it's not a player, it's an owner, it's another coach. I mean, Ballaholic myself, we've probably done over 20 podcasts, with random from players to coaches. I just bring all kind of people, Ballaholic, you know what I mean? Be like, all right, let's do it. And in there, you talk about, what's the common denominator. The denominator is the fact that I have some kind of relationship of some sort, and and Ballaholic has heard like the things that they've spoke on, you know what I mean, and the relationship. And so with him being able to say, okay, let me look at what him and our personal relationship, and then let me hear, you know, does it, in a sense, is it across the board? And then it's like, yes, that's one of the things, and that's that personality, just love and humility, just different things like that. That that makes a fan or someone that is like, yeah, I want to be around that person. I'm willing to support because you know what I mean. They're just cool. I don't know. Like I said, they might make 10 points, they might make 2 points, but just the fact that I, I just love them. You know what I mean? So if you can make more points and you do other things, you're really, you know what I mean? You really sign a contract. You know what I mean?
It goes a long way.
Yeah.
Because basketball, at the end of the day, is like hiring for a business, right? Like,
Yep.
you could have this guy who's like a complete robot that just can knock the job out the park, but anytime you interact with him and he just gives that bad energy, as like an interviewer, you're going to sense that, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to be like, well, I'm hiring him to be around the rest of my workers. Do I want him to basically be a poison for everybody else and bring the whole vibe down, right? So that's like another thing too. Is just like team
Yeah.
morality, right? Like you could get a guy who averages 30, but he's making the guy who averages 10 score only 2 now, and then the other guy who averages 20 now he's only scoring 5. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, this guy's getting 30, but he's killing the rest of the team just off of his attitude.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
That's
and
crazy.
that plays a whole thing into that. Like, well, at least I would say with like well-established organizations, they
Yeah.
understand the soft skills, right?
Yeah.
So when you see like a winning team and you see the way they practice or communicate with each other, a lot like for the most part, it's just like not only do the skills click, but the personalities click too,
Yeah.
right? Everyone shares that kind of common
That's
thing,
real
or they
talk.
have a different goal.
Yep.
Like Golden State Warriors, like we'll use like NBA for example, when they're in their prime, it's like you have Steph, he's just this chill dude, and then Clay's like a chill dude, and then you have Draymond, he's a guy that's supposed to do all that other stuff, and they understood that, so they have those three balancing each other out. But if you have 3 Draymonds, what's gonna happen?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
so it's like little things like that people, it's like, okay, yeah, these guys have these skills, but also what are they like mentally,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
They click, you know.
It's not gonna be like that no more. Clay on his way to Orlando, probably, man.
Oh yeah, it's over with them now. But I'm thinking in their good years, you know. Like, so I mean, you can even say like even like the big 3 of the Brooklyn Nets back in the day, and then the Suns now. It's just like you got all these crazy star players, but are they mentally locked in the same way? Do their skills fit each other?
And they're not. You're right. And that's a good question. That's what Stephen A. Smith need to talk about, because they're not locked in. If that was the case, they wouldn't even got swept. If they were all locked in like that, like how you say they were. They were locked in maybe individually, but not as a whole, man. No.
Yeah.
Because that definitely wouldn't have happened. There's just
Yeah. We all know each of them could go for 40, 50, 60 a night, but it's just like, how does that play into each other? And I think that's where, like, a front office and high organization, they understand that. And like you said earlier, Ballaholic, about the puzzle, right?
Yep.
You know what I mean? You can have one single great piece, but how does he fit into the equation? Sometimes maybe he doesn't, and then you have to put that away. Maybe save it for later, or maybe just never use it, right? So I'd rather have a bunch of pieces that maybe aren't as good, but fit together perfectly, and that's going to be a better final product. And I mean, I feel like I might be going off track a bit, but just the reason I'm bringing that up, circling back to what Ashley asked me, is like, those are that would be like my advice coming in, is just being that person that could be that puzzle piece that is wanted.
Yeah.
You know? And what comes with that is not just your skill, but your attitude and all the other soft skills too.
Right. I do help a lot, man.
Also being authentic too, because you know, when you have someone who's coming around that's like, you know, being excessively like, you know, like what's the word, like, it's like they are trying to seem authentic, but they're not, but you know they want to get something out of you. You get that ick feeling from them, right? You don't want to be that guy either. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of those in this game. It's just like, yo, they'll pull up and be like, Ballaholic, I love your sweater, man. Where'd you get that from? Yo, by the way, can you get me to Mexico with you? Like,
Oh, that's sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, and then immediately you're just like, okay, forget everything you just said to me, because now I know your real motive.
Hey, for real though, yeah. We got them. Hell yeah, we got them. Oh my gosh. Those are the worst ones.
Yeah, that's why I think a big thing is just keeping that authenticity, you know, because then when you're in the game long enough, you can sense who's real and who isn't, and who's here to just get something out of you. So
right.
That's true.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy. Let me get my charger real quick, y'all.
Hey, yeah, we ready to let them off soon. You know what I mean? We're about to wrap it up, because that was good. That was really good. You know what I mean? When we start talking about just the wisdom and the knowledge that we've had some guys just really speak on, you know what I mean, in the game that are pros. So this is info for those who are in the game or are interested in or trying to get into the game. You know what I mean? Or even keep your career in the game, because you can get into it and it can be gone just as fast as you know what I mean, seem like you got into it. You know what I mean? And so these are some of the things that, you know, from a player, and this is one of the things that make our podcast, I feel like, special, is I'm a coach. You know what I mean? I'm a coach, and Ballaholic is a player. You know what I mean? So we have that coaches player type relationship. We're owners. You know what I mean? So we can speak on a business standpoint and things like that. And I'm a former player. You know, so I do understand the game. And I played at a high level as well. So it's one of those things where you say, okay, this is what it is. And this is sort of when I look at my career and I can say, man, that was me. I was that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That guy, you know, because I wasn't the Ballaholic who had the big stats, the names, the D1. That wasn't me. You know what I mean? But I had the talent and ability. And I was like you, that, I needed that opportunity. Once I got that opportunity, I bust my ass and I, you know, worked and did my thing and I made the cut. And once I got in there, now I had to maintain and I had to prove why I belong in the TBL. At that time, it was the IBL. Why I belong playing against the Donald Watts, who's a big-time ex-UW star, and the Jamie Bookers, and, you know what I mean, all of these pros that I'm like, man, wow, I seen them or heard about them on TV. I didn't do that, right? But these are my teammates that I learned from, and I was able to play with, and I went in to games, you know, on the bench, you know what I mean, looking down, just hey, I made it, you know what I mean? Hey, once I get in the game, I did what I needed to do. well, how did I make it? You know what I mean? That little puzzle piece, the attitude, that I'm a fan favorite. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do the things that is great for my teammates as the same thing that's great for the owners because I'm a product. You know what I mean? As a player, and it's great for the fans. So it's the attitude. That was the one thing. Work hard and had the right attitude no matter what it was. You know what I mean? No complaining. You didn't, players weren't like, man, they ain't trying to be around Ash. They was like, man, Ash, cool peoples. You know what I mean? No, no this, no that. And so we're telling y'all attitude really does matter. You know what I mean? So I'm speaking from a coach and from a person who had a successful career to the point where I'm able to be here now and I'm able to help other people. You know what I mean? So whatever that was done throughout my career, it worked. Put it that way. You know what I mean?
Right.
And on top of, you never got to have talent. That's why I said it wasn't no YMCA. It wasn't no, if you can't play at this level, it don't matter how nice you are. You ain't gonna.
Yeah.
You're not gonna. Yeah.
They'll nicely. The best you'll get out of that is they'll nicely cut you.
Right.
Oh man.
So that's what we telling y'all. We want to definitely leave y'all with that. I think that was some of the best info. Austin, as always. I mean, you just the way you think. You know what I mean? You can tell you that PG, the way you think the game, your IQ, and just the information that you give is definitely at a pro level, as we would say. You know what I mean? And that's the difference of professionals. We're able to articulate a little differently than those who haven't been there or who's trying to get to this pro level. You know what I mean? So, we thank you, Austin, for, man, like I said, last minute, I'll be like, oh, let me figure out somebody, man, things are going well. Hey, Ballaholic, can we do this? He'd be like, all right, coach, I got you. You know what I mean? Austin, and so it's one of those, everybody came through. As always, that's what we say, our brotherhood or our relationship is really like that. You know what I mean? We call each other whatever time we need help, and we come together and we work together, and that's how you be successful, is really building genuine relationships. So that's another tip for those who are watching or who may see this, like, be genuine about whatever you do. You know what I mean? We can tell, like, the person, we can tell if it's not genuine. You know what I mean? Austin, our relationship is genuine, is personal. He knows I can call him, vice versa, and we had honest conversations. You know what I mean? So it's not like he can't call me and say, Coach, let me be honest with you. You know what I mean? He like, no, Coach, hey, what's up? And he's always been that way. And that's the respect factor. You know what I mean? The same Ballaholic. So if anything, this is my tip for those players who are trying to get that help. Learn how to communicate and just be honest. You know what I mean? And I understand things really do happen, and it just be like that. Hey, I can't do A, B, and C because A, B, and C. No love lost, but don't act like it don't happen. You know what I mean? Don't act like somebody's trying to help you. You don't contact or whatever, then come back later as if, hey, what's up? Don't do that. That's not a good look. You know what I mean? It's just better. Go ahead, Austin.
No, that's just annoying, like you try to put somebody on and then they don't reciprocate the effort. And it's just like, this is for you, man. Like, so no, that's terrible.
So we're just saying those are tips, you know what I mean? Like, for all of us, it is a cutthroat game, it's a cutthroat world, you know what I mean? So it's just saying that build genuine relationships, with integrity, and just know that who's really in your corner, and really try to be tight with them, like, for real. Like, these guys, I can call them and vice versa, and we know we got each other's back. And this is a prime example. We're at 11:30 at night. Everybody got to get up in the morning, but we was like, hey, let's jump on and give some jewels real quick and catch up. And this thing you'll be able to circulate throughout as many times y'all want to play it. But we just wanted to jump on and just say that, hey, Austin, man, we wish you the best for the rest of the season with the Jags. You know what I mean? I've been watching from afar. I haven't been able to get to the TBL game yet. I know Super Hogs ball came. I'm watching everybody moving. You know what I mean? But I hope to get to a game before y'all end, because I want to at least you know what I mean, see you dress out, you know what I mean? I don't know what's going on. But as far as playing time going in, and that doesn't matter. My whole thing is you made it, you're there. And that's how it was for me. I was like, man, I may start. I did get a start, you know what I mean, at one time in my career, you know what I mean? But it's one of those, I might get minutes, I may not, but I made it. I'm here. You know? It's all about being patient and waiting for my time to get there. And when I get there, I promise you're gonna remember my name. You know what I mean? So that's just another part. And this is my personal experience, and this is something that like it's just that love and support no matter what. Man, you know, you got folks there. It's just love. You know what I mean? So Austin, definitely let's try to or keep me posted. I gotta try to catch a game.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you the rest of the schedule. It's funny that you said what you said because I was actually planning on once this whole thing is wrapped up, I was actually gonna pay you a visit in Bremerton. You know, I'm gonna drive back up, so I was planning on visiting you too. But yeah, if you can pop out to a game, I think most of our games are now in like Salem area. So if you want to make, if you're able to make that drive, like that would probably be nice. Yeah.
Yeah, no. Like I said, I like to get away. That's not too far. You know what I mean? Couple of hour drive. You know, me and the wife, we get away and come check y'all out because that's something that we wanted to do. I wanted to catch a TBL game and especially your game. You know what I mean? It's I know some of the Vancouver personal friend of mine. You know what I mean? There's people that I got love for, but this one here is special because this is something that we work together to get to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, witness. So I want to be able to see that, but definitely we look at the calendar, see, make it happen, and let me know when you're trying to come up. You know, I love to have you come in or work with the kids. You know, I got my girls and my boys, AAU, so you can stop in and show them some coaching tips or drills or something like that. If it's during that time, we can get something to eat, whatever. We'll make it happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, man. We wish you the best for the rest of the season for the TBL, and we're excited to have you on the Coyotes and to get down to Thailand. And man, that'd be a whole nother journey for us, Ballaholic. You know,
man.
What I mean?
Hey, you know, I was gonna say, I've been telling Ash this, but Ballaholic, I'm gonna tell you this now. It's like you guys, if you guys are thinking about visit Thailand, you guys should visit Thailand. Whether it's basketball or not, like it's just gonna be a good time, man. Like, yeah, I think you'll like it. I think you'll like it. So
we're gonna do it. We're gonna definitely do it. Like I said, that's what I'm saying. Thailand. Just listen to what you said and the fact that we'd have been so far. We'd have been to UK, Japan. We got to go to New York. I mean, we just been traveling. We've been to Vegas. We just been traveling the world together. You know,
just living that good life, man.
Right,
man. It's been a good one. I ain't gonna lie, man. It's been a real good one.
That is awesome. Oh, I was gonna say too, just speak on genuine relationships, but like for you specifically, Ashley, it's just like, moving forward, like what we did since 2023 till anything and beyond, it's just like I want you to have the confidence that like if you say something like, oh, I put this guy on to this team and this team, just know that I have your back and I'll have it stamped all the time. You know what I mean? Like it's not gonna be like, oh, I helped Austin get to the Jags and I turn around and like, no, you didn't. You know what I mean? Like, right? Like I'm gonna keep it real that this is what happened. This is my guy. He helped me, and like I said, put a stamp on it. Taba coming up. After Taba's over. Yeah, man, like that, me and Ash, we connected and that's what happened. So just want you to know you can have that confidence that, like I said, whatever my success, like when I said this to you back then, it's like whatever my success is ultimately going to go back to being your success. And I want you to know I'm standing by that and I'm not changing my mind or anything about that. Like you got my approval anytime you got to say anything about when you're recruiting other people and stuff like that. So got you on that front. Yeah, I got you.
Really, like I said, appreciate that because, like I said, when we met Ballaholic, that we was a part. That's where we were at. We was in that part of that process of saying, okay, all right, let's go here. This is gonna be our first stop in it, and we're gonna be on this journey. And when I met Ballaholic, I'm telling him, hey, this is who I am. This is what I can do, and these are the people I'm working with. And so he was able to sort of see it, and now for us to now go. And we're traveling the world together and you're able to speak on it and other people are able to see what we're doing, because it's different when I can sit there and say that all day, but if I don't have nobody to really
to back up those statements, right?
Right.
People will be like, yeah, did Ashley did he really do that, or he just talking shit, right?
Right.
And so I totally get that, man. It's almost like I'm being like a reference, you know, and those are
Right.
important. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of people who say, yeah, I worked out with Jason Tatum. And then it's just like, but will Jason Tatum ever say I worked out with you? Like maybe not, right? So
he ain't gonna remember that shit.
I know how weird that position is, and between you and me, I don't want you to be in that position. I want you to be fully confident. Like, yo, when I tell this other dude, this is what I do. I represented Austin. I put him here, and if he ever called me or DM me to confirm, I'll be like 100%. Yeah, that's my guy. You know, we did that. We really did that. So you don't have to feel weird about, you know what I mean? Like,
for those, like I said, who's watching, we told y'all what we do, Streetball to Pro and Kitsap Admirals. The idea is we scout, recruit, and place, in the sense that we go to relationships. We have a system that we can play. We develop the players, put them through a system, help them get fan, whatever it may be, from the tours or whatever it is, to get them in front of teams, scouts, coaches, and relationships to help them get jobs. But you have to be a pro. You know what I mean? And that's the difference. It's saying that, you know, and this is for those who are interested in entering into the pros. We can scout if you really have it, if you're really willing to do the work and follow the process or trust the process, then it can work for you. And so that's what we do. And that's why we sit here and we say, Austin is another player that has come through that we work with, and we said, all right, we can help you. You know what I mean? He's not the first player. He's one of the newest or latest players that we've helped to get on. You know what I mean? So this is what we're saying. This is what we do. This is why we do the podcast. We're saying, hey, if you don't know about this player, you might want to know who this player is. They're a free agent. Da, da, da. We do all of that. So that's the kind of relationship. Austin was a free agent, but he's not free right now. You know what I mean? But it doesn't mean that he's not open to hear, because he's open to hear other options. You know what I mean? If it works, he's wanting to look, but he's a pro. So that's what we do. We do those things and we help. And so we're agency. We're a little something, everything. We expose, we do it all. And so shout out to Austin, who is, like I said, we started in 2023, 24. He have a career. You know what I mean? He's playing in the TBL. He'll be playing in Thailand for the Bangkok Coyotes in the TBL League in November, in which, you know, we also have relationships and ties with. And anything Admirals, you know, if he's available, y'all seen him. You've seen the highlights. You've seen videos. That's him. You know what I mean? He's, you know, has a nice following as well on social media. But that's what we do too. We have some of the best players that plays for us, who works and trains with us, and who's a part of our program. So enough said. We've done it. This is what we do. It's almost midnight. We're going to Ball got to get up in the morning and go, you know what I mean? And I'm sure Austin, you know, we got him midnight in his car talking to us, you know.
Yeah, just outside the apartment. Yeah.
I see Austin looking around. He keep looking up like,
I'm like,
you're doing the right thing. You're doing the right thing, Austin.
Jumped in the car, man.
You're doing the right thing, brother. Yeah, get in the house, man.
Yeah. Hey,
wait, one last thing. Speaking of Kitsap, hey, are we running it for the Zeekend this year?
Yes.
All right, cool.
I already talked to him, and I told him I saw Sunshine at a basketball during the playoffs at a game. I was like, we are in it this year, please. So I got her number to make sure I'm bringing a squad. I can't miss it this year. So we're definitely gonna be in it this year.
All right. Okay. And that's in probably August, right?
Yes, it's normally the first weekend of August.
Okay, yeah, I should. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good for that.
Okay.
Ballholic, are you gonna play too?
Yep.
You see me shaking my head, right? You ain't even got to have them already.
So I'm already gonna be on the same team.
Yes, sir.
We finally gonna be on the same team. I'm excited, man. I knocked Zeekend off of my bucket list, but you know what happened last year with it. So I want to have a good experience with it. You know, I remember we're in Mexico. I'm like to Ashley, I'm like, yo, next year you gotta put me on. You gotta get in the Zeekend and get me on. And then he's like, I won't like even if I don't have a team, I won't even let you go back to the team that you played for. That's how bad it was.
Damn.
It was a tragedy, man.
It really was. You know, like I said, the Zeke end is the best of the best. You cannot come in with any team and think you're gonna play in the Zeke.
Yeah. See, I love that. I love that.
So,
oh man.
I'm excited to come back right this time.
Yes,
So.
Right.
We come back right. Like you said, we got him. NTG, Nate the Great, you know what I mean? He's another guard from Milwaukee. We got some bigs that we're looking to bring in. So we're going to have a team. If we don't win it all, they going to, as always, they know the Admirals is in the building and we're going to represent. That's the only thing I'm worried about. We're going to have a good time and we're going to represent no matter what. So I got you, Austin.
All right, man. Yeah, sounds good. Yo, I've actually me and IT, we be talking a little bit here and there on Instagram too. So it's gonna be cool to see him again out there. So yeah.
Yo, man, for sure.
Yeah. But all right, you guys have a good night.
All right. We thank y'all for tapping in Streetball.
Ballaholic, I'm gonna see you soon.
Yes, sir. Also, you already know, baby. It's all good. Definitely gonna see you soon.
Yep.
All right. Good.